The God Power Visibility Workshop is for those of us who have always been different, particularly melanin folk who have always been different. You were born that way. And you went into cloak mode, you went into hiding, and you modified yourself to fit in. Now you're an adult, playing small, being who you are not has become way too heavy, way too painful. You waste your life away. And additionally, you are being called to come out and speak. You're being called to come out and heal and serve. For some of you to actually become rich financially and otherwise, serving folks with your distinct work. I repeat, some of you have been called to come out and be rich financially and otherwise with your distinct work. This God Power Visibility Workshop is meant to meet you exactly there, both on the coming out of hiding, taking the world stage on video, starting right where you are, imperfect, flawed, scared, starting right there, introducing you to the world stage and creating a pattern, a rhythm, a plan around that for you. And all the inner work, which is inner alchemy, that we do to bring you into power within a 9-day period. So that's half. The other half is the practical part of how does this all actually work? That's what this 9-day God Power Visibility Workshop is for. So it's distinctly designed because I am a woman who has always been different. We can talk so much more about what that has looked like, what that has felt like, what has been required of me, the awareness and spaciousness and painful work that is required of me and you to do to truly come into full power. Where we have the emotional spaciousness. I hunger for this so much for us. The emotional spaciousness, the high character, the emotional maturity to actually work with each other, to get into romantic relationship with one another, to get into business relationships, to get into fun travel and like truly high character, adult, loving relationships. I'm not seeing this among those of us who have always been different. Purity of heart, vulnerability, coming into full power. What I see is a lot of fear. I see a lot of people talking about power, talking about divine feminine, divine guidance, divine masculine, in these online conversations with avatars. But I don't see people in their day-to-day choices choosing to be in relationship with folks who are of high character, choosing to engage in projects that would literally shift the paradigm of whomever you're seeking to shift a paradigm of, whether it's of the collective, whether it's of Black men, whether it's of teenage boys, whether it's of young girls. And because the work that, for those of us who have always been different, who are truly called, the work that we're doing is very likely very disturbing to the status quo. It's very disturbing to you, to your nervous system. It's very disturbing to what is normal for you right now. And so in order for you to actually come into the power, you got to be around people who are actually coming into the power, not people who talk about it, but really their mundane life is quite normal. Really, their life is quite normal. How they live, their spouse, the choices that they make on a day-to-day basis. When you look at where their money goes, because full power has you being completely unwelcome in many places, very welcome. It has a lot of people on edge, very careful when they talk in your presence and how they move with you. When you're truly in full power, you're not fitting in other places, but you stand so purely, so powerfully, you're able to create, you're able to move. Your spouse, like who you let insert you as a woman matters drastically. Who you are as a man and who you put your phallus into matters drastically. So if you're a man or a woman and you married somebody who was normal or who was like a typical spiritual person, because there's levels to this, we know that, right? Who's a typical spiritual person or who's not coming into his full power, her full power. Y'all been married 10, 15, 20 years. They may no longer qualify for the full power that you're coming into. Like there's sacrifices here. There's real work here. This is the kind of full power that I'm talking about. So there are some of you who, and this, I didn't mean to get into all of this, but you see where I'm going here. This workshop is for those of you who are really not playing around anymore. You're not wasting your time anymore. You're aware that your lifetime is literally limited. Your time in your body and this or on this earth as you are is limited. and you're ready to play full out, really live unapologetic. If a divorce is necessary, you're ready, right? Or at least begin the process. Like, and I'm in this energy right now because people lying. People are not really, it's hard. And we go through hard things over time. There's difficult decisions to be made. We not just getting with a man just to get with him. We not just getting with a woman just to get with him. We can't even afford that. Energetically, spiritually, we cannot afford that. So when I say full power, I mean the most pristine. There are sacrifices that is required. There's love that's required. There's a purification of you. There's doing hard things over time, doing hard things over time, doing hard things over time, and being consistent. So you actually come into who you actually are. Not performative characters, not hiding from people, not answering, calls. God call you to do something, you're not doing it, staying with a partner out of fear, getting involved in smaller projects because they don't make you as nervous or afraid. I mean, really stepping into the profoundness of who you are and allowing yourself to feel the fear, do the hard thing, and get to the other side so you get to the fucking riches in all forms, not just financially. So this God Power Visibility Workshop is both sides. The deep inner alchemy that's required of you. You can read the page about what's up, and the practical pieces of what does it actually look and take to command the world stage. All right. So that's what we're doing inside of this 9-day God Power Visibility Workshop. Share it with folks who you think is for you. And I look forward to you going all in. Don't sign up for this if you're not going to participate. Okay. Unless you just want to get into our email community. If that's the case, then at the bottom of the page, I think there's somewhere for you to opt in. And if there's not, then just go ahead and register. Maybe send me a note and say, Naima, I just wanted to get myself in the loop. Character matters. I pay attention to who's opting in, I pay attention. This is my heart. Okay. So I pay very close attention, regardless of what it looks like. All right. So perhaps you're not going to register or participate this time around, but register because you want to be in the loop. Perhaps you can do that too. But if you are registering to participate. Teach yourself to trust yourself. Okay. Because you sign up for things and don't follow through. You're teaching yourself that you don't follow through. Okay, so just be clean and intentional about where you invest your time, attention, and money. I look forward to those of you who are going to complete this process strong. See you on the other side. Mwah.